This is Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and we're here to do a walkthrough of my latest journal. And this journal is a little different than the ones that I've done before, but I wanted to do something different, and this is different. So it is not one of the series for the Shabby Chic collection that I'm doing. This one is different. It is called Beyond the Darkness, and it's done mainly in blacks, beiges, browns, and some blues, some dark blues. I made the cover. It is not out of a box. It is simply chipboard that I made, and I made it by myself. This is some paper that I've had in my stash for forever. I buy things because I think they're pretty, and then when I get them home, I don't want to use them. And I don't want to use them because if I use them, then they're all gone, and I don't have them anymore. So that's just a little issue that I have to get over. But I decided to use this on this book, and I think it turned out beautifully. The binding, the spine is, it's a hidden spine. So this is covered with gauze that was dyed black. On the front, it has the same fabric, but it has a little decorative thing on the front, kind of three-dimensional-ishy, kind of whatever. I wanted to be able to use these flowers, and they're not squishable. They don't lie flat, so I needed to use them on my on the front so that it wouldn't matter. Let me glue this little leaf down right here. It looks like I forgot one. And sorry about that. And so I used this. I bought these little picture frames years ago, and I bought it at Michael's, back when they had the little dollar bin things that you could go in and just buy all kinds of stuff for $1. And I bought some of these, and I've never been able to use them, and I thought, this is perfect. I have a cemetery picture in here. This is kind of, like I said, it's a little dark. And I'll link below where I got those if you're interested in them. And a really cute little flower cluster that I put up here. So let's open it up and see what we have. So we open her up. And on the very front page, like again, we have this done in the gauze, and it's got some wear on it so that it kind of looks old and all. We have a front pocket. This is just a piece of paper that I dyed. I think I used distress inks on this, and then watered it and made them look really cool. This is some old paper that I had left over from a planner journal. At one point I thought, oh, I'm going to be so organized. I am going to get a planner. I'm going to keep up with all my stuff. And at the end of the year, all of my pages were blank. So, not my thing. But I have used it for a new purpose. So, these are little reinforcements that I dyed with distress inks and matched them to the papers. It fits in this cute little pocket right here. Here's a piece of the embroidered border trim that I get from Boho Daydreams, and that's half of it, and the other half is on the back page, so we'll see that again. Now then, here's our first page. We have a little paper snippet that I made. I used these papers through here quite a bit for different things, and I made a snippet roll, and then I did some decorative stitching on it, and the stitching is done in a blue that matches the blues in this pocket. So we have a little journaling card here. It is like a I don't know, a cabinet card kind of thing. It's on thick paper, and it's a really cool cemetery picture with some writing on the back. Fits in this little corner pocket right here. I can't remember where I got the papers, but I have them. I have it written down. I will link it in the description below in case you wanted to buy these. They're really cool, and I did some altering on them, so as far as inks and different things that I added, so they're not exactly like this. A little bit of trim. We have a little top tab, another pocket, a corner pocket, and I left the strings. If whoever gets this, if you don't like the strings, you can certainly cut them off. That's entirely up to you. But this is sewn on. We have another little card here. It just says notes. It's dyed in the same blue with some black splatters and things on it. This is a piece of paper, just a piece of coffee dyed paper that I inked and did some experimenting on and really liked the effects. So we have another tab, and I just stapled those on with some colored staples. We have another little pocket here, little piece of paper glued down with a little pocket here. It's not really a pocket, it's kind of more of a tuck with a cute little dark butterfly card. This is a corner to corner belly band. This is just some, you know, I have those papers that when I'm working, I put down. I think we got them at Stamping Up or something. Anyway, I put them down under me when I'm inking and things so that I don't make too big of a mess. Excuse me. And when I get done, then I cut them up and use them in my journals and things. So this is just what happened. It just happened. We have another sheet of paper here. It's also a piece from that same blank journal. And I added some inks and some coffee and some cool effects. Okay. This is the back of that paper, and it's I left it blank, and then I just put some ink on it and kind of swirled it around. And those of you that have watched me before know I don't do well with white space. I don't know. It's something in my psyche, I guess. It always looks to me like it's not finished. So you'll usually find that my solid pages are inked in some way to kind of take away the wall of that piece of white paper looking at you. I had some paper in my stash that I've had forever, and I used a punch that cuts out borders. And I've had these punches for a while, but I just never really could figure out how to use them. So I watched a couple of videos, figured out how to use them, and I made them with my papers and put them in the book. And I thought, wow, they turned out really cool. This is a little snippet. It's just a little piece of lace here with some thread on it and a little fiber bow, a number. And you'll see the back of this is blue. This matches the pocket here in the front. This one is a little darker because I put some ink on it, so it's a little bit darker shade, but still the same thing. This is a book page pocket that I got the inspiration from Pam at the Paper Outpost. If you've not seen her channel, check her out. She does some really cool things with book pages. And I have these cute little cards that fit right down in here. And I'll link where I got all this stuff. If you were to buy this journal, then you might want to have these papers so that you could add extra things or things like that. So anyway, and you have 3 pockets. Some paper, some digital paper that I just had in my stash. I put some sewing over here. I took this and folded it in and stitched it, so it kind of gave it its own border. I used some washi tape in these pages a lot just because, for one, I love washi tape, and two, I thought it was kind of cool and pretty, and there we go. This is another one of those pages. You can see the paper is much better. They're kind of magical looking, and this one has been inked. So, you know, keep that in mind if you were to go and see these. They're not exactly the same. This is another piece that I just played with and sprayed and dyed. I have some gilded wax here on the edge and a little piece of black lace at the top. Just a label with some gilding wax on the page. This one's a little bright. This one's just, you know, kind of out there for me. But when I finished it, I really thought it was kind of cool. So I went ahead and put it in the journal because I thought, you know, even beyond the darkness, there needs to be some pretty shiny light. And so this, when I finished, kind of looked like tree. Of course, I lived in Colorado for 20 years, and we had lots of beautiful aspen trees there. And this kind of reminds me of those aspen trees, and you look across the grove of those trees with the light shining through, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. So I decided I like it. Here's a doily that's just been coffee dyed in the page. Here's another one of those pages. I left some of them blank if you wanted to add some things of your own. A piece of music paper, and this paper is really, really old. I have a dear friend of mine. I sent out like I said, I have said in videos before, my husband was a band director for years in Texas, retired, and we still stay in contact with a lot of friends and former students and things, and I sent out a all call for some old music paper, and one of the band directors, who was a former student of my husband's, sent this to me, and I hoard it because I love this paper. And so I glued it down because it's very fragile. It breaks very easily, so I glued it down so that you can enjoy the music as well. This is one of those little music cards. I've used these in my journals before. This is a double one. It's an old Southern custom. You have the music on one side, and on the back it tells you all of the stuff about it, who did it, when it was copyrighted, all of that kind of stuff is on here. And these have a specific name, and I can't remember what they're called. It says here they were printed by Tune Decks in New York City. So way back in 1944. So I'm not real sure what you call these cards, but they're really cool. And I just have this one laying over the page, clipped in with one of these really huge jumbo gold paper clips. I have another page that's been inked and covered, coffee dyed page. Here's another belly band. This is another piece of that stuff I put on the bottom to catch all the drippings of my ink when I'm inking, and made a little cluster here to go on the top of it. We have a little piece of paper here. This has been inked and dyed and coffeed and folded, and I thought turned out just really, really pretty. A lot of times on my inking, you'll see lots of swirls and stuff from, I use these little dauber things. And I know you're not supposed to have the circles on there. You come in and you make it blend and all that. But I really like the circles. I like the effect. I like what it does. And if you spray it with water, then you get some really cool effects, because not all of it blends, and, you know, it's just kind of haphazard, and that's me. Fly by the seat of your pants. So anyway, this piece of paper is in here for journaling. Here is a vellum pocket. This is a piece of brown vellum. I did put washi tape on here just to strengthen it when I put the holes in, because I didn't want it to tear through. So we have a pocket here. This is another sheet of that day planner paper that didn't get used. On the bottom, it has a little cluster with a little dangle, little bead dangle. And I put it here in the pocket like this. Cool. Another piece of that paper. Some of the pages are lighter, so this has got some of the cream colors in it. Another little cluster. Some extra writing paper. This is a long tag. Has a little dangle here, a little spider web, and a little dangle that I've tied to the strand of the bow, and a little bookmark. This is a little sack, little paper sack, and that fits down in there very nicely. Okay. This page has been crinkled and inked, and I've got, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I've highlighted with some gold gilding wax, so you have a little bit of shine on there, and it matches the gold washi tape on this side, so kind of pulls that together. We have some more of those reinforcements down here that I've dyed with some, I don't know what you call these little dots. They're just, you just get them on a little page, and they're just circles, and they're kind of holographic and shiny, and I love them. So I put those on there. It just kind of catches the light a little bit every now and then, and lets you know, hey, I'm here. So another piece of that journaling paper, except this one is kind of done in blacks and grays, and made some little designs and things on there. It goes down in this little pocket. This is another one of those little borders I cut out with my punch that I had that I'd never used before. So I thought those turned out really nice. Another piece of coffee dyed paper. This is the center of our journal. We have a key, and of course we have a dragonfly, and another little tab stapled on. And these papers, I cut these in strips and then kind of folded them and made the little ribbon on them, and then cut them, so, and then stapled them on. So they're all kind of different, but still blend together and look nice, and I thought, cool. This is the other side of that page that I dyed and inked and put water on it, and it ran, and it was just cool. So I may have to do a video, or maybe I did do a video, I'm not sure, of this, and because it's just really so much fun. And I got this idea from Louisa Heinzel at Junk Journal Art, and she does some beautiful stuff, so check her out. Here's another journaling spot done with the blacks and the grays and the greens. And this has a little cluster here. This was a piece from a wedding dress that I purchased, an applique from Donna Little, and then I dyed it so it doesn't look very wedding dressy anymore, but it's very pretty, I think. I like it, and fits on this little belly band. Put that in there like that so you know it's got a paper that will come out. Okay, here's the other side of our crinkle paper, and a long piece of that border that's been stitched on with a zigzag stitch. We have another piece over here with a little cluster down here. Some frayed and inked paper here with a stamp. This is a little card that I made. It's just a journaling card. I made it from an index card and inked it pretty heavily and watered it and all that, and then decorated the front of it. I got these birds, I think, from Louisa, and I put them in here so they hold our little journaling card as a tuck spot. Here's the other side of our brown vellum envelope. Has a little card on it. The back side is blue, and have two of those. Okay. This is some coffee dyed grid paper that I have, and I just stitched around the edge of it and made it look kind of like an old map or something. Oops. There's the stitching, so it kind of added some texture and funkiness to this page. And then another coffee dyed page. Here's the other half of that I just inked. And there's the other half of our music paper. I was gonna point out too, where is that? Where did it go? Well, I can't find it now. Here it is. It says The Crickets Love Song. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Since this is our kind of dark journal, foresty darkness thing. And I thought at night you hear the crickets. So that's kind of cool. The other half of our dyed doily. The other half of our aspen trees shining through the wind. Piece of ribbon that has been folded like an accordion and kind of glued on, stapled on. Yeah, I glued it on. But the other side is so cool looking. Look at that. Those are all the threads that go through to make these designs. I almost like the back better. So, kind of cool. We have a little fold out flip here that you can fold out and write on and nobody even knows it's there. Here's the other half of our dipped and dried inking page. Another solid page with just a little rhinestone flourish. Another page of lined paper. And some hand-dyed paper that I used distress inks on. Little cluster down here. It says, listen. So cool. Listen. Okay, we have another little, this is just a decorated paper clip. It fits on here. And we used a little piece of that blingy ribbon from Boho Daydreams, and it matches again with the washi tape down here. There we go. Isn't that cool? See, this is an effect that it had, and it just looks like trees in the forest. And I thought it just turned out so beautifully. It's just gorgeous. So we have a little stamping here. Another tuck spot with another sheet of writing paper. Here we have another bookmark type fold out, and it's kind of folded in kind of thing for this little pocket right here. The little girl is beautiful. Okay, this is a piece of handmade paper, and I purchased this from Amazon. I didn't make it. I did that. I tried that. I couldn't do it very well. And so it has some little holes here because this paper was put together to be a journal. I didn't want a journal. I just wanted the individual pages. So I just put a pretty ribbon on there to decorate that up. And then we've got our tabs. This little section here is our journaling, our secret journaling space. All of the pages in here have been inked, but they're all blank. They're not decorated or anything other than the ribbon and the tabs. They're all blank. They've been dyed, but these are for journaling, for photos, for memorabilia, whatever you want to use them for. But this is for the journal part, and they're all just alike. They've all been punched the same, inked the same. They're coffee dyed papers that I coffee dyed and put together. And so you have these little pages. Here's the center. So we have our charms, which is a little spider web with a spider down in here. Sorry, I've been inking. My hands are, and a little dangle with some rhinestones in it. And then, so you have quite a few pages here to just journal, just put whatever you want and however you want to do it and decorate it. It's entirely up to you. Okay, this is our third signature. So we have a couple of pages here, tags here. These are not really tags. They're really just for fun. These are some German vocabulary cards that I purchased from Donna Little, and I just think they're so cool. So we have a couple of those in there so we can practice learning German, which I would love to do, by the way. And it just sounds so terribly hard. Another pocket with a piece of dyed paper, another piece of that journal. It's got some mica ink on it, so it's kind of got a little bit of a shimmer to it. More journaling space. More journaling space with just a little extra decoration. We have an envelope. This is the front of our envelope. I mean the flap of our envelope that comes over here. I stitched a cluster on the front of this and put a big button on it, and I thought, oh, that turned out pretty cool. So we have some little rabbits. These came from Pam at the Paper Outpost, and these are just some Project Life cards that I had left over and inked and dyed. Put them in our little secret place. Okay, here we have a hidden paper clip. It has a huge, a huge paper clip. Not very hidden, but it's there to just be cool. And this is made from an old window envelope, and it has a cemetery scene in here. And I just thought, oh, how cool. And then I collaged it with some collage papers that I have and put our little hawk here who is watching and keeping an eye on keeping the people at rest here. So you put this over here, down in this little section right here. I don't have my glasses on. They're around my neck, so they're doing a lot of good. But it just slides on right here like this. And here we go. Another flourish. Another sheet of music paper. And a doily. Here's our paper snippet again. Another piece of the embroidered, I think some of these came from sari dresses, sari fabrics and stuff, so very cool. Another fold in with some lined paper. A vellum pocket. You can write on this side. Here's the pocket part. Just a little card. This is a black doily with some sari silk and a little smaller doily that's been dyed with another one of our cemetery cards. Excuse me. More journaling. Just some pretty papers and textures and coolness. There's our paper that the grid paper. These are just some little butterflies that I put on top of the paper just to make them a little more dimensional with all of our little fireflies. More foresty paper. This is just a piece of paper that I had in my stash. It's been inked and folded and also used gilded wax on it. This is another piece of our inked paper that I inked and let it just run, and I just think those are so cool, and they look like trees. These tree trunks with the grass and the leaves and things up here just turned out really pretty, I think. This is a little flower that I made, and I did a little collaged card here, journaling card. More, an owl and a moon on a star, or a star on a moon. I think some of my pages are kind of stuck. Just a very minimal decoration on some of these. Little cluster up in here with some paper and a number. Here's a little piece of the paper from the cover that I used inside the journal. Here's another one of those music cards. I cut the borders again and dyed them to match our trees in the forest. The other side of another sheet of paper that's been gilded. And this is the other side. Here's another envelope. It's a vellum envelope with a couple of, these are some little foxes, Mama and her babies, and another one of those Project Life cards that go in here. We fold it over and there's our flap, and so I made it into a tuck spot. And we've got another little index card here. It's just got a little bit of decoration. This is left over from the cover, and so we've kind of taken the covers and pulled them into the journal as well. Here's our other page of our grid paper. We have another little pocket with the edges. I roughed up the edges pretty good because I wanted them to be kind of rough and have a kind of a deserted look. So it makes it a little weird getting in and out of this little pocket because it sounds like it's tearing, but it's not. And if I had my glasses on, it really would help probably. Well, I'll put that back in there in a minute. Okay, we have some inking. We have a little cluster on our tree here, our scary tree. Another part of our inked and folded border, paper border. Another cemetery card, fits right in here. We have our other side of our vellum pocket with a cute little owl. Some of these, like I said, some of these animal pictures came from Pam at the Paper Outpost, so check her out. Another page of writing lined paper. Here is another one of the long bookmarks with paper stack. Another pocket with our cards in it. Cute little cluster down here. This is another one of those flowers that I made, and we have a piece of paper back here that folds up, and you can use that for writing space. Take that off. Guess it would be easier if I took it off and took it out. It's just folded up, and it just fits behind this little tuck spot. But if it's just sitting there, it just kind of looks like a piece of paper, so nobody would know there's writing on the inside. So you can put your secret on there and fold it in with your paper clip just to hold it in. Another cluster, another doily, our final envelope. This envelope is completely, it's not glued in or anything like the others. It's a two-sided one though. It has some things inside. And then it has some stitching around. And our owls. And it just folds over this piece of music paper. And this piece of music paper is upside down. I don't know how I manage to do it, but it's kind of become a signature for me, I think. I managed to get something upside down all the time. And so instead of trying to fix it and go back, I've decided to just embrace it and welcome it into my upside down world. So if that bothers you, then you could take the page out or cover it up or whatever. I kind of embrace it as part of my crazy world. And then our coffee dyed paper. We have another pocket here that I've stitched on the front of it just to give it some texture. We have another one of these little index cards. And it's kind of wanting to not stay open. This is another just tag, but it's in a pocket that's removable. It's one of these windows, so you can see the cemetery through the window. Like I said, if I had my glasses on, it would make it so much easier. So when you slide your tag down in there, you see the spookiness of the cemetery. But then it's got this beautiful butterfly. You know, in all darkness, there is some sunshine. And it's just a collaged pocket. I did not glue it in. I put it in with a paper clip so it can be removed if you don't like it or don't want it. And our last little pocket with our cute little owl in there. He's not very dark looking, very ferocious, but he's kind of cute. But he's just in our little pocket here. And our last page with our braiding. We have another page back here at the back that is a page of that forlorn journal or day planner that didn't get anything written in it. And another piece of dyed paper. There's the other half of our embroidered ribbon and the back of our paper. All right. So there we go. This is our journal, Beyond the Darkness. This journal will be for sale in my online store. By the time this video airs, it will be in the store. So it will be available. So check out the store. It's at www.pinkdragonflywings.com, and check out and look at the journal, see the other things that we have in there, and you might be surprised at some of the things that we have in there. So please take a look. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I will try to link down all of the people's items that I use, the papers and things like that, that would be available if you so chose to do that. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me, and be creative, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.